All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Overshot, a Paintball podcast. Before we get it started, I gotta let you guys know about the ads. So it's the holiday season, so that means I'm telling you about Dynasty Sports, man. They are makers of the SF joggers, the Grind Air gloves. They have all kinds of good soft goods, like this hoodie that I'm wearing right now. They got these new long sleeve actually that I bought for my girl. It's just like a regular long sleeve, but it's kind of thick, but it's got a dope saying. We got grind never stops because the grind never stops. So if you go to DynastySports.com and you want to pick yourself something out, like I said, he pointed down below, use the code Overshot. You'll get 10% off. And it really helps the podcast. It helps them. They're a local company to us. So it's definitely just, people helping people, man. And our second sponsor for this episode is Volcano. They make these awesome new backpacks that you see. Like for us, it's great. It's snowing. It just snowed a crap ton up here. So instead of taking your reeler bag and dragging it through the snow, you just take this thing, you throw it on your back. It fits all your gear. And their website is Volcano USA. You head over there. The code is Overshot10, and you'll get 10% off that whole order. They have shirts too and hats. And I just want to push this real quick because we have people doing it. So our Patreon, we have all different kinds of tiers. You can head on over to patreon.com/overshot a paintball podcast, and you can check out our tiers. We have discounts on merch and all kinds of other stuff. I mean, if you're a supporter of Patreon, you get free hugs and free high fives for life, man. So definitely go on over there and check us out, man. But now that that is over with, I'm super excited to get to our guest, Trey Goodwin. The guy's a true baller. He's been balling a long time, man. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. So the classic question: how did paintball find you, and what was your first time like?
Okay. This little rinky-dink indoor when I was 9 years old, had my birthday party there. And
birthday party.
Yeah, classic birthday party story, I guess. So had my birthday party there, and then the people that own that place kind of like took me under their wing or whatever. And I used to just hang out there all day. Played a couple different little like Young Guns national tournaments, from age like 9 to 13-ish, right? But then didn't pick it up fully until like junior year of high school, like 17, started playing full X-ball seasons.
Oh, cool. So straight indoor. So it was like right into airball.
Right, 100%.
Awesome. And what you were the straight rentals?
98s. Yeah, 98s for the most part. Well, yeah, it's weird. My story is actually, I'd never had played in the woods or anything like that, right? It was all airball for me. So especially with the way stuff's going now at the classic tournaments, it's nice.
Right, with that resurgence. So you're playing these Young Guns tournaments and everything. So, but like, were you on like an established team then, or was this just like you and your two buddies going on like mowing faces?
So the place, the indoor was called Fun Guns Paintball, right? And they had like a little, I think, D3-ish team out of there called Fun Guns Factory, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so like all those people kind of like took me under their wing, and I was starting to, just play with them, practice with them when I would go up there. And that kind of got me like right into it.
Yeah, right into it. Mm-hmm. So you played the 3-mans, and then so what was like your next step after that? Did you go into like D5? Like, so what year is it? Was there even D5 then?
So this is like when I just started, like 2010, 9, 10, right? Sorry, first started 2004, 5. I'm like 9 or 10 years old, right?
Right.
Play a couple mixed tournaments here and there, like an IAO, an Ultimate Madness. And then was traveling for baseball and stuff at the time, so just couldn't do any sort of serious paintball until junior year of high school, and then it really kicked up.
Yeah, so like when it kicked up, did you go like seek out a team?
Yeah, so I was in the Cincinnati area. That's where I'm from. That's where Fun Guns was. There was another little place that opened up out of there called Cincinnati Paintball. I jumped on, just started playing like regional X-ball events with them. Mm-hmm. And that was like D4. Yeah.
No, awesome. So, so you're going into, you're playing these D4 events and whatnot. So, like, how did the whole Tippman Effect thing kind of come up?
Okay, so I'm playing those regional events with that Cincinnati paintball team. And then we scoop up some guy named John Howard. He's a guy that used to play on Tippman back in the day. Mm-hmm. and we play World Cup with that Cincinnati paintball team. And then he was like, "Hey man, why don't you come out, play with some of these guys? We're like getting this group back together again, this and that, right?" And
Right.
so I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'm in, right? This is my first like little in."
Right.
So we were going up to Cleveland to play and practice before Tippman became the actual thing again. We were just called Effect. I think played like 2 or 3 regional X-Ball events as Effect in D3, and then got the funding behind us again, and then we were Tippman playing 7-man.
Nice. And what was that experience like going? Like, did you guys like do well?
In 7-man?
Yeah.
Yeah, in 7-man we always did well. Our first event, I think we played D3 and got like 3rd down there in Virginia. What's that one called? Pevs, at Pevs. And then played D2 at Huntington Beach, got 2nd. And then the following year played semi-pro and got like a 1st at Vegas and a 2nd in Chicago, and then something else, and then got crapped on at NEO or something.
Yeah, damn, dude, but you're crushing on the national stage. So what was that like, dude?
It was wild. Just because I had never experienced anything like that. It was just like regional X-Ball, and then jumping to that. I don't know. You just learn a lot real quick, and I was just listening and soaking up everything that I possibly could.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it sounds
in
like
that
you're like
sort of environment.
a young kid then. You were like 17, 18, and you're traveling and like you're taking 2nds and 3rds, man. A lot of people work really hard and they never even come that close.
Sure. Yeah, I was like the kid or whatever on the team, right? Because they put me on. And so segue that into a lot of those guys that I used to play that with on Tippman are part of that Detroit Fusion / Thunder Horse group now that plays 10-man.
Yeah, awesome. I know. Yeah, we're gonna get to it because I'm not sure. Like,
Sure,
my notes
sure.
are a little all over the place. But so you played on Tipman Effect, and how did that come to an end? And maybe take us into what happened next.
So the N.P.P.L folded after I want to say like did not come back for 2014.
Right.
So then we switched to PSP or X-Ball or whatever, and we just got wrecked like 3 or 4 events shooting those crossovers. And then that was kind of like it. The funding stopped, and that was kind of we were moving on.
Yeah, you're moving on. So when you're on Effect, did they let you shoot like other guns, or were you just shooting like ramped up Tipmans?
We all did shoot the crossovers. That crossovers the first year, and then the crossover XVR is what it was called, I think, the second year.
Right. The one you could like operate without batteries, right? Wasn't that its big deal?
Both of them, like it had a little switch, right, where you could like where the safety would be, right, and you could turn it into mechanical mode, which it did not use the battery.
I always thought it was kind of interesting. I remember when they came out, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of interesting."
Right, but probably not the best guns to be playing tournaments with.
No, so you were the rebooted Effect, right?
Right.
Yeah, you were the rebooted Effect. You weren't like back in the day when they were shooting when they had 98. So it was a little bit better than shooting a 98, but it wasn't that much better shooting. You're definitely under. It was like a $250 gun, right? And
sure,
$1,000 gun world.
And personally, I would have rather shot 98s just because they were dope and with the center feed and stuff. But whatever.
I mean, at a certain point, they were tricked out with like DM4 boards or something.
Wasp boards and stuff.
Yeah, Wasp boards and stuff back in the day, and E-bolts or whatever they had. Because my buddy had, I remember my buddy had an E-bolt at Tippman, and there was like, like wires and airline, like it was all like Frankensteined out or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever they could do to like, you know what I mean? Because you want that competitive advantage, but like you're saying, they were putting Wasp boards in there or whatever they were doing. We had Carl on, Markowski, and he was on, and he was saying his was like, he was like, no, man, mine was like bone stock, like a Tippman. I would only go with 2 pods because I was playing the snake. Ping, ping. I got a guy. Ping, ping. And it's like, that's why he plays the way he plays. You know what I mean? Even up until he was done with Aftershock or whatever. But just definitely. And you guys had some good placings in 7-man, even like you said, with a retail marker. You know what I mean? Like a Walmart marker, so to speak.
Right.
especially compared to stuff like Lux's, because this is the 2010s now. I mean, you got like DM12s out there, and you're out there with a crossover. Ooh, bro.
So the worst part about them was that shooting like 5-star wasn't going to happen. I mean, it's just it's flamethrowing that shit just because it's not soft enough on the paint. So at practice, you're like, damn, these things are shooting lasers. But then you get to the event, and you're like, oh, we can't shoot a ball.
Loading paint.
Dude, we'd rather have that rec grade paint.
Right. We'd rather be shooting 3-star and at least like, shooting.
That's wild. That's wild. But so like you're saying, so like when did your time in Tippman Effect come to an end, and then what did you kind of do next? You were saying it kind of folded at the end of N.P.P.L. But then what was like your next step?
So after that folded and like the end of 14, I sort of like took a small break for a year, and then I came back and was playing with the Outlaw program because that was like the next closest thing to me regionally in Fort Wayne there. So was playing D2 with them for a couple years.
And getting chewed up by Jeremy. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Listening to songs. But I do like some of those Outlaw guys up there. They're good guys. What was I going to say? So played a couple events in D2 with them, and then took another break, was moving back I was living in Nashville, North Carolina, moved to Nashville to link back up with my family. And then started playing a couple regional events in 2018 around Paintball Asylum in Louisville. That's where Struggle's based out of now. So played regional events in 18, and then 2019, they were trying to get the Louisville Asylum team back together. I was a part of that program last year, and then obviously 2020 has been with Struggle, and then I've been playing those regional tournaments with the Kansas City, Missouri AllStars guys.
Cool. Yeah, we'll definitely get into all that, but I'm actually kind of curious to know. So, like, being coached by Jeremy Song and being involved in, what kind of knowledge was he like bouncing out to you? Like, what was one thing that kind of stuck out in your mind as a good piece of advice that he gave you? Okay,
so Jeremy wasn't directly coaching us when I was playing on the D2 team. He'd be there, in and out or whatever, but he was not like, there 100% of the time, watching every point, watching every player. But, Psalm brings some knowledge to the table, and he knows what he's talking about.
Right, that's saying he's been in the sport like a long time. So was there something that he said to you that kind of like...
I could not pick out any one thing, to be honest with you. But I do like Psalm, and he's got a pretty solid approach, and I think he's doing a good job with those guys up there.
Yeah, I like to trade my Gun Outlaw guys. But, I mean, I guess being from the GZ camp, I guess by nature I have to hate him because the whole sniper in the woods thing and whatever. So
of course.
I don't know if I'm allowed to like him or not, but I am definitely a fan of the Outlaws. I think they try real hard, and like it's tough to make it in the pro division, especially they're kind of getting beat up all the time, so it's really easy to give up.
Sure.
But so like you're saying, so you kind of moving on to the struggle now. I know you got like kind of a long story with them. Like walk us through some of the events you've played with them and some of the high placings.
Sure.
That you guys have gotten.
So the guy that runs the team, Tom Kaprowski, me and him actually started playing together at Fun Guns, that little indoor in Cincinnati. So me and Tom have a long history, and me jumping on with them at the beginning of this year just made sense. So we played Vegas. I actually played for the D2 team at Vegas. We did not do very well. I don't think Semi-Pro did very well either. But moving past that, they basically bring me up right after that, right? And then there was an open MSXL, which was MSXL's regional tournament series, but they had an open division that I think had NRG level. It was like Struggle, CEP, couple semi-pro teams, couple pro teams, right?
Some solid competition though, for sure.
Sure. And we got 4th there.
That had to feel nice.
It felt nice. It was just good, sort of get on the same page with everybody. At me not playing with semi-pro for Vegas, sort of having a little, regional event. Luckily, where we got to play that sort of competition to get on the same page with everybody, and it was good. Yeah, it was a good experience. That was actually at Paintball Asylum in Louisville, Kentucky as well.
Yeah, right. So when you were at Paintball Asylum, I think some of the level guys practice there. So do
Yeah.
you guys kind of like battle out a lot with them, like on the off weekends?
So we've gone up to them a couple times, and they've come down to us a couple times over the past 2 years or so. And a couple of their guys I'm close with and have known for a long time. Matt Askren, I used to play on Tippman with us in 7-man. He plays for level. Justin Politi is a guy that's formerly played for that Asylum camp before he played for level. So we know
that's why I brought it up, because Justin was on a previous episode of ours. I can't think of the number right now, but I remember talking about the Asylum camp. So that's why I wanted to ask you if you guys like cross paths, because I know he lives in Boston now, so I'm sure he doesn't get out there as often as he liked.
Right. So we don't see them like all the time, but for a layout here or there, we see them. And like I said, we know all those guys and they all know us, and it's always a great grind.
Yeah, because you know them from their DZ All-Star days, and I'm sure when you were saying you played with the Missouri All-Stars too, I'm sure you guys have scrapped it up a couple of times.
Sure. And actually, like we would have layout practices against DZ when I was with Outlaws a bunch, and those were some really good practices.
Yeah, no, awesome. So with going, I know like COVID still has everything up in the air, and like, actually, no, here's actually what I really want to know is, are you been privy to any of the changes that the NXL is going to be making?
So are you talking about like format changes, or in terms of like changes to the schedule, venues, stuff like that?
The scheduling and venues and stuff like that.
So what I'm hearing,
I don't know a whole lot. I just know from what I hear on the Play the Game podcast, but it sounds like they're like kind of changing like the whole like setup, all the tournaments and everything like that.
Right. Yeah, I only can go off of that episode that I heard with them too. I think it was Spick and Span or whatever that is.
Yeah, I think it was the Eric Crandall episode.
Yeah.
No, I was listening to it Play the Game. It's Tyler Harmon and Marcelo Margot. They had Eric Crandall on, and they talked about the changes.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I'm hearing like there's regional events that everybody is kind of like required to play in order to earn some sort of Super Cup spot at the end of the year.
Right.
Yep.
But if you win a major, I think it qualifies you automatically, though.
Right. Yes, that's correct. At least from what I've heard.
What do you think about all that?
It doesn't bother me at all. I think that means more events, right?
Yeah. Do you think it's going to benefit your team, or do you think you guys are just going to like? All right, let's just put it this way: if Struggle wins a major, are you guys still going to play their regionals, or are you going to be like, nah, man, we locked in our spot. We're just going to grind it out?
Oh, I mean, we would probably still continue to play the regionals just for practice, right? But I don't know. I think it would promote us to play more.
Yeah,
just because we're closer. I mean,
yeah, I was thinking about this because I was thinking about like, what if like a team like Russian Legion wins like the first major? Like, are they going to continue competing, or are they just going to win their one and then be like, yo, see you at Super Cup with all the money, boys?
Right. And
I think
they might too. I don't know.
I think they would take off like the middle section of the year, and then actually I don't think they would come at all, bro. I don't think they would come at all, dude, because for years they were grinding out in a basement in Moscow or whatever they're doing their secret Russian Legion training. For years, and they were filming themselves playing. Dude, like that in the Blonsky was saying, he's like, people think we're filming them, but we're filming ourselves. Like, we don't care what anyone else is doing. I mean, shocking. If you haven't been on this heard this podcast before, I own a regional league. I mean, some of it, dude, as a fan, I think it's probably sick because, like, the Super Cup at the end is gonna be $50,000. But bro, if I was a freaking middle of the road divisional team and I played Las Vegas and we, or if I played WCPPL or I played NEXL or any of these regional leagues, it's stupid because if you win I win an NEXL, great, awesome. Instead of getting the $2,000 I'm supposed to get, I get entry to Super Cup, and the minimum I can get is $2,000. All right, that's cool. But if I'm a team that's like borderline, like, whatever, I get a second or a third all season and I never get that first, I get $0. I get $0. And then it goes to Super Cup. Like, I don't know. I like, as a fan, it's cool because I don't give a shit if the pros win money. and then at the end they win 50 grand. Like, all right, that's kind of cool. That's also better. But I mean,
Right.
I'm also not a big fan of the NXL system to begin with. So, I mean, if we're talking Super Cup and all this stuff, I mean, that's my opinion, dude. Love it or hate it, but you know where I stand, dude, and I have no problem telling people. I think it's stupid, dude. I think it's a pyramid, dude. I think it's a bigger pyramid. They're taking the 10 grand every event that they're giving a pro, and they're just giving it at one event. So the team's like I don't know, man, but I mean, if your team has no shot anyway, like Level or Trade My Gun or any of these pro teams, what do you care? You have no shot anyway. So maybe, I don't know, maybe somehow you go to 9 events, so you get so many points at these 9 events where you get a spot at Super Cup, so you get some kind of money. Maybe that's better. I don't know.
Right, because they're talking about paying out top 10, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like 50 grand for first and then 8 grand for 10th. So this is the pro numbers. So like, that 10th is 2 grand less than a Super Cup. I mean, less than a pro first place. But I think the way they're taking it is they're taking like whoever wins the majors, and then they're taking like the NXL Europe champ, the NXL Latin America champ, and then I don't know if this isn't for pro because I saw this for like a local league. Then they're also taking the series winner of NXL, the series winner of the affiliate in the Northeast, the affiliate in the Midwest, the affiliate in the Southeast, and the affiliate in California, which I heard is supposed to be Dave Baines' thing because Hinman's running the best tournament league. So I've never played it, but from what I've heard, Hinman's league is the best thing in the world. So all those West Coast teams are like, bro, why would we even do that? Like, just leave your stuff how it is. Like, don't even give us entry to World Cup. Like, give us more entry to WCPPL.
Right. Yeah. So actually got out there to play one of those this year, and
Sweet. So how was that?
It was awesome.
What team did you play for?
I played for Struggle actually, and we played Premier. Okay. But we were missing we only had I would say 70% of the roster. Okay. So we had a bunch of close games out there, but didn't move on. But in terms of how the tournament was ran, the refs out, Joe Barrett's out there reffing. They have other guys. I mean, you can't get better than that. The pace that he's running at, no breaks on the field, sort of deal. I mean, it's running like a machine, and he's doing a really good job out there. It was a pleasure to play. And I think we plan to go back out there at least one time this year, or next year, sorry, with Struggle, just because it was such a good experience.
No, I've heard nothing but good things about it. We've interviewed a bunch of dudes that have played that tournament, nothing but rave reviews. We've had Brandon Unger and stuff like that on. He says it's great. I think he plays.
Arena even plays it.
Arena,
dude. There's some ballers playing that top division's no joke. Those teams are no joke to begin with. Also, they placed well at World Cup. Also, Hunters and stuff like that, and they all play WCPPL.
Right. So a team like Gray Area. I think the team that Shane Howe guests with at the WCs, they played D2 at Cup and won. I mean, destroyed everybody, and they're just more, in my opinion, a mid to high tier premier WC team. I mean, so boom, they go to NXL and they crap on everybody in D2. Just shows you the just the level of talent out there, especially when you mix in a pro or two with those teams.
Yeah. No, cool. So another thing I got on my notes here is that you played with a little bit with Thunder Horse and the Detroit Fusion kind of crew. So
yeah.
So what's been your experience so far in this whole mech business?
So we started playing those in 2019. 2019 we played the Chicago ICPL. We played ICC. And that was it. Those are the only two that we played. We have not gone to play that Florida one yet. But yeah, did really well at ICPL. I think we got third or something in amateur. Big ass stale woods field that we had to play finals on. It was literally just camping. I hated that shit.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah, and then but ICC was, I would say, a little bit more fun. The hyperball was good, the mounds were good, and the woods was better than what we had experienced at that Chicago.
Yeah, no,
So
that
those were,
Pittsburgh Woods field is fucking what's up.
yeah, for sure. So those were the two events that we played in 19, and then this year we had planned to do the same too, but ICC got canceled, obviously, and then lost in semis at Badlands not too long ago.
The other one not too long ago.
Yeah. So it's been good. Still only have like 6 or 7 like of our core sort of Tippman guys. So we're looking to add like the 2 to 3 to kind of take us up a notch.
Yeah, to get you guys going. But like in general, do you enjoy it? Is it something you like doing?
Yeah,
especially
it
like
is.
You said, you didn't get to play in the woods growing up. You got like thrusted right into Airball. So was this like your first, like when you started to get ready for this, was this like your first time playing in the woods?
Yeah, 100% was. 100% was. Other than like messing around at this little field called the Farm here in Nashville in the woods there. Yes, it was my first time playing in the woods at that Chicago in 2019.
So what was that like, man? What was that like? You know,
it's like war.
Like, dude,
it's like war.
It's like war.
Yes, and you have all sorts of lives too. That I realized really quick. Everybody's got a lot of lives out there.
Oh yeah.
So, but no, I enjoy it. It's nice. I mean, it breaks up the season for me. Going straight from X-ball, layout to, you know, relax, kind of have a good time, still go hard, still want to win. So yeah, it's nice to switch it up. I like it.
Nah, dude, I love that shit. Mainly because like I'm not like I said, we were talking before, but I'm a little bit older. Like I can't really compete at a high level on X-ball, but like we go into these whatever these 10 bands, and like one time in the ICC in the semis we got mashed up with Dynasty, and you know I got to fucking snap battle with Blake Yarber for a little bit before he made me realize how bad I am at paintball. But at least like, dude, I got that opportunity, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Dude, if I were to go through like the ranks and try and play Dynasty, I mean, fuck it, dude, it might take me the rest of my life.
Right.
So that's why I love the 10-man shit.
Yeah. No, it's great. The environment there is much different than in regular NXL events. Not better or worse, just different.
It's just different.
Yeah, and I enjoy that too.
Yeah, dude, it's way fun. Like everyone's kind of laughing. Not in our camp. People are normally fighting in our camp, but most of the people are laughing and having a good time. Sure. But so going into like next season with Struggle, I know we're kind of talking about the changes, but do you guys just plan on being like full bore on the season, like pendant, like imagining COVID's gonna disappear?
I mean, yeah, we're playing it like COVID's gonna disappear. I mean, getting together at least 1-2 times a month during this off season.
Right, you have to, for the sake of conversation, and you talk about next season, you have to like pretend like it's not going to be there almost.
Right, I can't handle that. Like, I just need all that to quit so I can just continue to play paintball. Yeah.
But yeah. So you guys just plan on being full bore back into like, you know, regular groove, as many events as you guys can get to?
Yeah, 100%. Anything that we can play, semi-pro at or open or whatever, we'll be there. We'll be playing.
Hell yeah. And so like, do you guys plan on like taking this all the way? Like, let's say you guys crush it next season. You guys get the invite to go pro. Is that something you guys would be like, is that like the end game here?
Yeah, I think that's the goal of the team. I think that's been the goal of the team since they started, to try to bring something out of Louisville, and a couple, you know, the Asylum program, obviously, tried to do that and almost did that. So yeah, I think that's the goal, but we're just trying to win every event, and that's the main focus.
Right. Baby steps.
Yeah.
Like football, you got to win the next game in front of you before you worry about the playoffs. But
right.
As a podcast interview, I got to ask the tough questions, man. I want to know if you guys want to go all the way or not.
Sure. Of course we do.
Hell yeah. So what do you guys do anything in like the local area? Like, do you guys do any clinics or anything at like Paintball Asylum, like the lower divisional guys or anything like that?
Yeah. So this year we'll be offering clinics kind of like on layout weekends before those regional Mid-South X-Ball League tournaments. Which will be open to like lower level struggle people in the organization, as well as you want to come pay and kind of learn the layout and just having a legitimate training session on your layout, we are going to be offering that at Paintball Asylum this year. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Trying to grow the paintball in your area, because like
Sure.
that's something that like Waldo has been trying to do in our area, is just bring higher level players out to like the field and stuff and just help the lower divisional guys just get better and try and grow the sport of paintball through that. Like we've had people like Robbie Altamore come out. He's run a clinic with Tim Stetzel from NYX and stuff like that. And I think that that's something like I can see in the area has a big effect, growing that paintball from that ground level.
100%. 100%. And Paintball Asylum's like basically the only thing, or the only legitimate, I would say, like 2 turf fields in Kentucky. So, I mean, it's basically the mecca for Southern Ohio, all of Kentucky, Northern Tennessee. So they draw from everywhere in the region is my point.
Yeah, no, that's nice. That's like, here on Long Island where we live, there's only 2 fields. So for the most part, if you play paintball and you live on like, you're going to see everybody because there's only going to be 1 or 2 spots you're going to be at.
Right. And go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that. So like, what was your favorite gun you shot over the years? You shot like crossovers. I'm sure hopefully now you got something a little bit nicer, but like what's been your favorite throughout the years?
So like one of the first guns I ever got was that blue Dynasty SFT when they first dropped those.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I had all the upgrades, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But shooting that was fun. Shooting that at like 15 I always enjoyed that. So I think that's probably my favorite.
No, those things are sick looking. And what about the mechanical? What do you shoot for that? You got a CVO 170? What are you rocking?
I've shot the CVO. I've shot the 170. I rocked the EMEC with whatever, like infamous trigger and then the hair valve, and that ripped. Obviously with the Ultra Silk treatment,
of course,
on the EMEC. But yeah, that thing rips, and I don't see any reason to get the 170 or the CVO. I really don't.
No, man, I know plenty of people that got the EMEX and they love it, dude, and they rip the shit out of it.
Yeah. Now that they have
could rips that thing.
I give Jacob too much clout, but I'll give it to one more. He's got these tiny little fingers. You can get 2 fingers in that trigger thing, dude. It sounds like you're shooting 1,000 balls a second.
Yeah. It's nuts.
He's a savage. But so like, tell me how you know Caesar and stuff, because Caesar is someone I know from, because I play in the Ground Zero camp. We use Ultra Silk. So how do you know Caesar, and how does he work into your whole little the struggle circle?
So Caesar's tied in with the Fusion name, right? He used to fund it or run it back in the day. And that's when like Nick Wyrick, Justin Hensley, a couple other guys that played on Tippman with me were playing for Fusion at that time. So they know Caesar. Caesar's wanting us to kind of slide back into the scene. And so, we're going to play under the Fusion name again. And that's basically the relationship, or at least from me. As far as I don't really know Caesar that well.
Yeah, that was like your introduction to Caesar and his whole business.
Right.
Oh, that's sick. So what do you got going on right now? I know it's kind of the off season. What are you doing to kind of like keep your, especially like, it's got to be snowing by you. Yeah. Did you guys get a storm through you recently?
So where I'm from in Cincinnati, it snows all the time, but I'm here in Nashville now, and it's like very mild. I think we saw flurries like 3 weeks ago, but that's probably all we're going to see. So it's just cold. It is not going to snow here.
Oh, nice. F you, bro. We just got like 8 to 10 inches.
Yeah, I can't handle that. I couldn't even handle like the Midwest snow. So I had to go south.
You had to go south where it's a little warmer. But so like in the paintball off season, what are you doing to keep your skills sharp? You're still able to get are fields even open by you? I mean, I guess, is that a thing?
Yeah. So like my buddy Ira's spot, the Farm Sports in Shelbyville, is still open. I mean, as long as the weather is nice enough, it's open. And I think that will continue through the next 2 months. I'm not really sure how bad the winters are, or if they're able to stay open here year round, or what.
Yeah, I was talking more like the government, because like here and stuff, all that kind of stuff is like super like. I think
they don't care down there, bro.
That's why I was asking. I don't know what it's like.
Care down there, dude.
Nah, they don't give a shit. It's the South, man. They're shooting people
on the
whatever
every day. Yo, we need to go to the farm, bro. We need to go. They got another mounds field. We need to go to the farm. We're doing another 10-man. We got to go to the farm. Look at this other mounds field. Look at the Woods Ball updates. Oh,
Right.
man, dude, this guy Ira is definitely doing his job, promoting it on social media, bro. I live in Long Island. I hear about the farm every day. Come
Good.
on.
I'm sure he'd be glad to hear that.
Dude, we're coming out there. Eventually, we'll be out there.
Yeah, please do. It's literally 20 minutes from my house. I know he's working to get like some sort of ICPL or some sort of deal there next year, if possible. And actually, this weekend they're rolling out turf for their airball. So yeah, they're getting it going out there.
Dude, Suddy Bloody Sunday or whatever it was called, dude. I think our boy Vegas. Did Vegas go, Travis? I don't know if you went. I know Adrenaline played.
Yeah, I think it was mostly just like their older guys that kind of live in that region, kind of down here. You know, I could be wrong though. I'm not sure.
You didn't end up playing that event?
I didn't. They actually snuck in the struggle tryout on that same date, so I had to be there. But actually, Asylum put in a team at that farm 10-man this past Sunday, and won. Yeah, so that was good to see. I played in the first 10-man they had there, and like I think Adrenaline played, and there was a couple Saber Wolves, a couple other decent teams, and it was a really good time. We just played Mountains and Woods. Obviously, since then he's made updates to both. But it was a good time. I'd recommend it. Yeah.
No, dude, the pictures look sick, dude. We gotta make our way out there.
Yeah, for sure. Not to mention we're just ripping 4-wheelers, shooting guns, shooting paintball guns, doing whatever, right? So it's a good time.
Dude, we're paintballers. We like to have a good time.
That's right.
But so like another thing I was kind of curious to know is like, if you could say put up your paintball mentor, like who would that be for you? Who's someone who's kind of like really helped you in your area that you could give like a real nice shout out to right now that's helped you kind of become like the sweet ass baller you are?
Probably one. I have several because mentors are important. But I'd probably say Matt Askren from Columbus level. I've known him since age 9, meeting at that Fun Guns place, and I mean all the way through. He's been there with me pretty much every step of the way. So that's my shout out.
No, dude, that's awesome. That's so sick that you've played with somebody for like that long. I don't think I've known anybody that long.
Right. Yeah, it's wild.
Other than my brother, obviously.
Right.
But so like what other like 10-man events have you played other than the ICPLs and the ICCs? You were just talking about the farm. The one the cool thing about 10-man is like you go to like some iconic fields, like you go to the farm for this event, or like or whatever. We Central Florida or Badlands, right? So like, what's another like? You ever been to any more like badass places? Nah.
Not in regards to 10-man. That's what we've discussed today are the only 10-mans that I've played. So just those ICPLs, that ICC, and then that farm event. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'd say the most iconic one I've been to for those is obviously Badlands. Where is the one in Florida at? Is that at a field that's been like an established field, or is that?
Yeah, it's at Central Florida Paintball. It's where like damage.
Okay.
Yeah, it's at CFP.
Yeah, but that's not iconic, dude.
No, but it's like at a field. Like my thing is like NXL.
Not iconic, dude. Not iconic.
No, but like it's a field. Like NXL events, they're like go to like a field and they set up like an event. You know what I mean? Like
iconic, dude.
Whatever. I mean, it's like an established field. You know what I mean?
Established. Okay, dude. It's got poles and a net. It's established.
But it's not like Bader Field. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So we're like Philly was like in a park.
Whatever, dude. Bader Field. You're talking about Atlantic City, dude?
Yeah. They set it up where Bader Field used to be. It was an abandoned parking lot.
Yeah.
Dude, that's 90% of Paint NXL tournaments or PSP tournaments.
Well, that's
dude.
what I'm saying. What I like about 10-man is that it brings you to iconic. These fields.
Sure.
Whatever. You're getting hung up on the word iconic. A field. A paintball field. A paintball field. You're going to a paintball field. When you pull up, you're going to a field. And I think that brings a lot. Good, you got kicked anyway. But I feel like that brings a lot. Like when you go to these fields, I enjoy going to like Badlands. I think it's cool that these fields are running events. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, so the one at Badlands a couple months ago, that was the first time I've ever played that zipper snake. So that was that's cool.
Right, stuff like that I think is fucking cool.
Yeah, it is. Just go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like this is normally where we let you run through your sponsors, man, and like tell her everything. But if you got something else to add on, man,
I don't think so.
cool.
I don't think
Cool,
so.
man. Yeah, so rung all through the struggle sponsors, man. Who they got? Who helps you? Your field sponsors, man. All that good jazz.
Sure, we can start off with Kenny Shell and Paintball Asylum for their continued support. HK Army, Planet Eclipse. We'll be with Planet Eclipse again for 2021. Also shout out Carbon. Also shout out Weapons.
Hell yeah.
And Overshot.
Are you gonna be shooting? Yeah, you're gonna be shooting that new G series or whatever with that sweet new milling, dude. That thing looks fire.
I feel like I need an all black one of those. So we'll see. But yeah, I did like those.
Planet Eclipse. Send it to him. Get it to him.
Please.
All right, guys. Yo, again. So thank you for joining us on this episode. Thank Trey so much for joining us again. Holiday season. Go buy yourselves gifts. Go visit all our sponsors. Everything will be in the show notes. And we'll catch all of you on the next episode. Take it easy, guys.